Conlon-McKenna, the renowned author of Under the Hawthorn Tree, who's here with us today, wrote a beautiful little vignette for each of the pairs of shoes as you pass. So I'm just going to read the little vignette. So if you have an iPhone and you find a pair of shoes anywhere along the 165-kilometre stretch, the National Famine Way website will give you the little story at that location. So we chose this location for two reasons, because obviously the church is here. It wasn't this church, you can see clearly from the plaque, it wasn't built until 1860, but the former church, and because the building next door was the fever house. So the workhouse in Strokestown wasn't built until 1851, which meant there was 3 or 4 fever hospitals, one of them being in the town, and then some of the others were in some of the houses out on the outer edge of the town. You'll actually see at the building next door, if you look, there's a really high wall to the back of it, because where there was fever hospitals, they didn't want people getting out and wandering around the town, and the townspeople weren't often very happy to have people with fever being brought in, because of course the famine and the population explosion, it was the people up the side of the mountains and out in the bogs that it really affected most. So I'm just going to read the little vignette for these shoes. So our group, as we walk, we'll be stopping at each pair of shoes, we'll be reading the vignette, and we'll be leaving a little bouquet of flowers. And we're grateful today that we have Father Eamon / Father McDermott from 1847 to bless the shoes after I read the vignette. So that's lovely. So this is Roscommon, Strokestown to Elphin Church, Elphin Street Church. Like a huge herd of cattle, they marched us and many of our neighbours, the Quinns, the Reynolds and the Connors, into Strokestown. Hundreds of people were gathering in front of the huge gates of the estate and through the wide streets. And again, this is in the voice of 12-year-old Daniel Tighe, so it's little Daniel that's talking at each of the vignettes. I'd never seen such a crowd in my life. Most carried bundles of whatever they could save from their cottages. "What's behind the gates?" asked Catherine. "That's Strokestown Park House and the Domain. In all my years, this is the closest I ever got to seeing it," admitted Mother. "Tenants are not let put a foot near the big house place, or they're in right trouble with Major Mahon. Even the servants use a tunnel to go in and out of the place." Mr. Robinson shouted out the long list of 271 families. Many of them, like us, with only a mother and children, for the strong and the sturdiest of men had not been evicted. We are lucky to have our Uncle William Kelly with us. "We will walk along the Royal Canal and follow it all the way to Dublin," Mr. Robinson has told us. "We've a long journey of almost 100 miles ahead and will only stop to eat and rest and sleep. There are over 1,400 of us, and I'm entrusted to get every man, woman and child safely to Dublin, where the ships to the New World wait." "How can the children make such a journey?" gasps Mother as she holds little Martin in her arms. "Better the road than the poorhouse," Uncle William says, hoisting a complaining Maggie up onto his back. Off we went by the church and the fever house, alongside my dad's final resting place. It aches to leave him behind. "May the Lord look after you all," said Father McDermott, the parish priest who blessed the crowd as we left Strokestown for the last time.